real quick. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let's see who's coming through. We're going to wait till people come in. We're going to make this quick and painless. We'll make it quick and painless, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Who's in? Let's check it out. What's up, Caroline? What's going on? Let me just fix a couple of things here. What's going on, everybody? Dropping after I got all the details out. Okay. We need to just go over a couple of things. Court cases are updating. The two biggest names in female rap are both in the middle of court cases. Man, like I said before, how crazy is it that arguably the three biggest names in female rap, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj, are all involved in court cases taking place at the same time? That's crazy. That is crazy. It's not about the music anymore. It's about what's going on with the court cases. Cardi B is in a lawsuit, defamation of character, with Tasha K. Salute Eban Films. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Sydney, what's going on? For everybody that wants to support, I'm putting the Cash App below. See who else will come in. This is the Cash App. What's up, Bobby Ruffin? What's up, Sydney? What's going on? We're going to get into it. March, Queen. What's up, Queen? We're going to get into it. So, as I stated, we have two lawsuits, two pretty much, lawsuits taking place. All right. One is live and one is not live as of yet. All right. So, as we all know, the Cardi B lawsuit with Tasha K, they had the juror selections yesterday. Shout out to my boy Choke, who let me know yesterday they had the juror selections. The opening proceedings took place today. They were right back in court today. Opening arguments took place. Tasha K's lawyers Cardi B's lawyers. Now, to explain to everybody so they will know exactly what is at stake here. Okay. This lawsuit is a lawsuit for defamation of character, slander, and invasion of privacy. Ironically, the name of Cardi's first album. If I was Tasha K and I needed a home run, I'd be like, how bad can it be? She named her first album Invasion of Privacy. I try, I try to come up with a home run, make the make the jurors be like, you know what? She's got a point. If you didn't like your privacy invaded, why did you name your album that? Like that has something to do with it. But I'm saying that's what I would do. I would throw I would throw it in if I was desperate. So it started taking place, and they got right to it. I believe it's 10 jurors. From what I hear, it is mostly non-black. I think they said may have been one black person. Like out of 10, there might be one black person, and most of the jury is looks to be over the age of 40 or in that range. So right out the gate with the jurors, from what I'm hearing, that they ain't gonna favor Tasha K because you're gonna be speaking to people, and you know the way Tasha K talks. You're going to be speaking to jurors who are in their mid 40s or over 35, and most of them are not into. They weren't black, so most of them, or maybe all of them, are not going to know who Tasha K is. So that means they're not going to get the humor. And when she says "hit your wine glasses," they're going to be like, "So she's encouraging people to drink while they're watching her." You understand? Like they're not going to be able to keep up with the black people humor because they're 40 or 30 plus and they're all white. All right? So that was the first thing that was very telling to me. I said, "Okay, the jurors. So there ain't going to be no Barbs. There ain't going to be no, unless there's a 40-year-old white Barb. There shouldn't be no Barty gang in there." Right? So it should be pretty much unbiased, and the judge pretty much, from what I was told, explained to everybody, listen, this is about defamation of character, slander, and invasion of privacy. These three things. The plaintiff is Cardi B. I heard she was there dressed down, minimal makeup, long dress past the knees. She's playing the part. So from judging from the way she was dressed, these lawyers that she has got in her, you know what, about the way she initially came dressed to her other cases. And a lot of things that I had heard about the other cases she's involved in was the way she was dressed at the initial part of the cases ticked a lot of those judges off and ticked a lot of court officials off because they're saying you're trying to come here and be a celebrity. You are just like everybody else in this courtroom. So I think Cardi learned from that, and I heard she was dressed down. She didn't really have a lot of makeup on. Um, she had a long dress on or what have you, long skirt, and she just looked like a mother of two. She was just a regular mother of two today. From what I heard about Tasha K, she was dressed in. I think I saw her. She was dressed in like all white, a pantsuit. I think if it wasn't a pantsuit, it was a skirt suit. Dressed in all white, looked very appropriate. Okay. She had on the bright red lipstick yesterday, but she did not have that on today. Right. So both people, both the plaintiff and the defendant, looked the part, looked appropriate. All right. So the opening, the opening arguments come, and and it's Tasha K's Tasha K's lawyer, and then from what I was hearing, people was comparing him to Method Man. People was comparing him to Method Man on Power, like his techniques. How you know how Method Man tried to paint, what's his name, Davis McClain. They was comparing him to Davis McClain, and you know how Davis McClain says he don't need the truth to win a case. So this dude, from what I heard, Tasha K's Tasha K's guy came out. So now, remember, she had a female that was doing most of the talking, but she got killed in that other case. Oh, Chad, I don't know, Chad. I gotta look into that. Once somebody asked me that earlier, I thought about it. I don't. I have to go back and look at that again and find out because I forgot that it was he that filed. So I thought someone said that there was infidelity. So maybe she was cheating on him. But let me give me a chance to go back and look at that and ask a person that I know should know. So he came out and he wanted to paint the picture of someone who was living the American dream. Tasha Kibi, she was out and her dream was always to be on television as a young girl. She dreamed about being on television, and he went and said that she ended up marrying, met this husband. I forgot where they moved, and they moved to Georgia together. And he just basically made it like one day Tasha K got a story about Lil Wayne cheating on his fiance, and then the story blew up, and the husband came home and was like, "Oh my God, what happened? What did you do? What have you done, Tasha? What have you done?" This is what they said the man was saying. Don't kill me. I'm just relaying what I've heard from about three different people. I went and got reports from about three different people that was there. So he said that he's like, "My God, honey, what have you done? You got 5 million views, on or 3 million views, whatever, on this story. Oh, our lives are, it's just beginning. You're gonna, it's viral. You're everywhere." So when they were saying that, oh, she didn't get a chance to, do the radio thing, but now she was becoming famous because of the internet, right? What's up, Tipsy? So he's saying, so she was saying getting famous because of the internet, right? So he was trying to paint this American dream story, right? So meanwhile, Tasha didn't even really give it a chance because I don't think Tasha ever went to college. I don't know whether Tasha graduated high school. I don't know what her education line is, but it's not like she ever tried to attend journalism school or anything, right? But that's the picture he wanted to paint. Like she was pushed into his life, she went viral, she's just living the dream, right? But you're saying this to 40 and 50-year-old white people, right? And that's not their idea of the American dream. So they're listening like, okay, so your American dream was you were reporting someone's dirty laundry and it went viral. And now you're making a whole bunch of money from reporting people's dirty laundry. Not a lot of people are going to think of that as the American dream. Now, black people might, urban people might, and people that are into discussing celebrity gossip, they might. But 40-year-old white people in the state of Georgia, I don't know if they consider that the American dream. Just college educate. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Cadella. Um, I don't think they consider that the American dream, right? I heard that she had dropped out of school, so I'll have to double check that. If you say she's college educated, I'll double check. And thank you for that correction. So, again, this is a defamation cause. Cardi B does not have to take the stand if she doesn't want to. Tasha K was the first witness called. First witness we're calling is Tasha K. So Tasha K gets up there as the first witness. The Cardi B's lawyers basically the first thing they want to do is put the inconsistency in the heads of the jurors, right? That's their number. This is the game plan that they had. We're going to come out there and we're going to put in and we're going to input the inconsistency of this witness. We're going to start off with that. The very first question out the gate: did you say my client had herpes? Now, this is a tactic. This is a smart tactic on Cardi B's team. Before Tasha Kibi said, I'm Tasha Kibi, this, that, and the other. This is a tactic that they knew that the judge was going to say, let her introduce herself first. However, that's a tactic to go right at her before she sits down and says, Mrs. Kibi, did you say that my client had herpes? So Tasha's looking up like, can I announce myself first? Right? So this is now again, I will state to people, I got these reports from people who I was not at the courthouse, but I spoke to three different people and all of their stories are pretty much the same. All right. So the lawyer stated that Tasha K never said that Cardi B had herpes. He said that Tasha K said Cardi B had cold sores. And he said that she never said that Cardi B had herpes. Um, so when when Tasha K gets on the stand, they ask her, "Did you say that our client had herpes?" And then they give her the exhibit. Now, mind you, they've got all these videos, hundreds of exhibits and videos about Tasha K talking about Cardi B, right? Video after video after video. So they play a video where Tasha K basically says Cardi B has herpes, right? So they said, was Mrs. Kibi, was that you on this video? Yes, it was me. Did you say that my client uh, had herpes? Yes. So when your lawyer was up here before and he stated that you never said that my client had herpes, was he telling the truth? No. So right out the gate, Tasha K is basically saying that her lawyer went up to the stand and basically lied. So they're not even on the same page, right? They're not even on the same page. She's basically saying that the lawyer lied, right? Hold on a minute. right? They're basically saying the lawyer lied. Tasha is saying that her and her lawyer ain't even on the same page. Now they established the inconsistency. She also, the lawyer stated when he was speaking with Tasha K, that her page is a what's the word he used? Not a joke, but it's humor. It's humor and entertainment. So that's what he wanted to be: humor and entertainment. Right? Thank you, Queen. So they asked her. So by you stating that, so all of this information came, and if in case someone doesn't understand, all of this information came from an interview that Tasha K had with a former stripper and roommate, alleged roommate of Cardi B, when she was in New York. Star Jones, right? Star Marie Jones. I'm sure people that are up on the case, I'm sure they remember it, right? And she basically is the one who presented to um Tasha K this information about Cardi B. Now, Lovely T, right? Lovely T, everyone, I'm sure everyone knows Lovely T. Lovely T is the one who actually hooked Tasha K up with this interview. Lovely T said, "Oh, we have a girl, Star Marie Jones or whatever, and she wants to interview, and she's saying that Cardi B got herpes and blah 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 blah." But Lovely T didn't take the story. Lovely T gave the story to Tasha K. Right? You know, Lovely T rocks with Cardi, so I see she was being smart and she's trying to keep herself out of it. Right? So Tasha K takes the story. She's talking to Star, and now one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, and people will understand it, is recording phone calls. And Lovely T recorded the phone call between her and Tasha K, where Tasha K has already spoken to Star Marie Jones, and Tasha K basically admits on the phone to Lovely T that she doesn't believe Star Marie's story. She thinks Star Marie is crazy. She's talking about the strippers. All of the strippers are liars. You know, all of those strippers, they just strippers are liars. And Star Marie is not telling the truth. And she's crazy. Now, this is your main source of getting this information about Cardi B, right? This is your main source. You're saying, well, I reported it because I got it from a source. So your main source is Star Marie Jones. You are now on a recorded line, right? Saying um, she's crazy. She's crazy, right? So you are now, so the person that you got the information from, you're basically admitting that they're crazy and you don't believe them. Then Tasha K says on the recorded line to Lovely T, yeah, Cardi should sue because everything that this girl is doing is defamation because she's lying, she's blatantly lying, and she's lying on Cardi, and Cardi has every right to sue her for defamation. But notice Tasha K is saying Cardi should sue Star Marie for defamation, but she's not saying she should sue me. when she's the one getting the story and putting it on her platform. Her platform was way bigger than Star Marie Jones's, so she was getting it to put on her platform. So she's saying Cardi should sue her. No. So on tape, they played for the jury Tasha K admitting that yes, she did say that Cardi B had herpes. They asked her, but when you said that Cardi B had herpes, had you seen my client's medical records? No. So there is no way that you would have known that she had herpes. Is there any way that you would know for a fact that my clients had herpes? No, ma'am, I would not. But yet and still, you weren't sure of that, but you went on the air and said she has herpes. Yes, right? So they then got into what is this hashtagging? How many videos do you remember posting this video about this interview you were having with Star Marie Jones after you had already called her crazy on the recorded line with Lovely T? After you'd already called him crazy, right? They were actually saying Lovely Ti in the courtroom. They wasn't calling Lovely T. They were saying Lovely Ti. But she said after you had heard in this after you had already got on the recorded line and admitted that you think that Star Marie is lying, you still posted the video, a pre-recorded. And it was pre-recorded, correct? Yes, it was. And you went and made previews of this. Why did you do that? Right? Tasha K said, "Well, I did it so people would watch it." Right? She so it gets now to a point, and it's weird because Tasha K is now explaining to them how this whole thing works. And she said, so then Cardi's lawyers are so smart. So they're saying, so what is this hashtag now I gotta go? And Tasha K said, that's my slogan. Now I gotta go. And then she said, and what is this hashtag that says T story or whatever? She goes, well, that hashtag is the hashtag, the name of my store, like the name of my store, where I sell merch. I sell T-shirts that say "Now I gotta go." I say T-shirts that say "Hit the wine glasses." I got T-shirts of Teddy, Teddy, her mascot or whatever. And then she said, "So then you are here tagging my client also." She said, "So is the purpose of you tagging my client to these videos? People will now click on this video, and that will lead them to your store." Because you have my client's name tagged in your videos. Is that main purpose to get them to watch the video and lead them to your store? Tasha K said yes. now, now, hey, we appreciate the honesty. We appreciate the honesty. But I am sure her lawyers was over in the corner holding their head like, don't say that. But Tasha K was saying, they went into how much money she makes off of the merch. Now, this is all a tactic, and Cardi B's lawyers are saying, so just how much money do you make off of those merches? And she's basically telling her how much she makes off the merch, how much she makes off the advertising, how much she makes off the videos. So she said, so it's fair to say that you made a good amount of money off of the previews that had my client's name tagged in it, and as well as the videos that had my client's name tagged in it. And Tasha K said yes. So they then go into the whole herpes HPV statement. And then she said, you said that your channel is um, humor and entertainment, but yet you are talking about someone's medical history and you are reporting it on the internet. Do you find humor in doing that to a mother of two, a married mother of two? Do you find that humorous? And I think she said, if someone reported that on you, would you find it humorous or something along those lines? They then brought up all of the videos of Tasha K saying, "Well, Cardi's rich, so what? She's rich. It shouldn't bother her. She's rich." Right? And basically saying, now mind you, this is where Cardi's lawyers were just on point, right? Oh, she's rich. She's got this, that, and the other. What's that? What's it matter if a blogger says she can afford to pay for to take these lies? She can afford to take lies. She's a millionaire. She's rich. So now the jury's hearing all this, and they look over at Cardi, and then you got old plain face Cardi, right? So the jury's looking over there like, she don't look like no celebrity to me. So all of that stuff came back and played a part, right? The way the all of that plays a part. When you go to court, that's why they used to always say, I know my mother used to always tell me, I don't care if you're going to court for a ticket. Don't go into court with your pants hanging down, like you bopping all in the court. No, go into court respectful looking. You know what I mean? Don't go in there walking, sucking your teeth. That you have to put on. You got to put on for the judge, right? So I always made a habit of. I've never went to court in a t-shirt and jeans, right? So basically, they're looking at Cardi and they're like, "Well, she's not just. She don't look like she look like a regular person, right?" So she was saying, "So because my client is a celebrity and famous, you felt as though did you say that she can take it? And what does it matter if someone lies on them because she's a celebrity?" Yes, that's what she said. First, she said she didn't understand the question, and then she said, "Yes, I believe I said that." Then they start bringing back all these different posts. Did you post this on this day? Did you post that on that day? Did you make countless videos? Do you have five? You've got another YouTube channel and a Amazon, and they're naming all her different streaming platforms, right? Patreon, like where she has put videos pertaining to Cardi B. Then the worst part I think of the day, if all of that wasn't bad enough, the worst part of Tasha K's day is when Cardi B's lawyers said, "Did you receive a cease and desist from us?" Yes. They bring out the cease and desist. They show it to the jury, right? Well, Nikki, about 1 million people. You're saying who the hell listens to Tasha K? Well, she's got about 1 million subscribers. So somebody's listening. Um, So they said, "Did you receive cease and desist?" Yes. Did you receive a second cease and desist? Yes. All right. Did you come on your live after you received the cease and desist, after my client DM'd you first and said, "Hey, that story is false"? So Cardi reached out to Tasha K before all this lawsuit stuff went down. Cardi B reached out to Tasha K and said, "Hey, that story's false." Thank you, Skyana. That story's false. Tasha K said it wasn't false. All right, it wasn't false. And so Cardi said, "Can you take it down?" Tasha K said, "You can come on my show and talk about it." Cardi said, "No, I don't want to go on your show. I want you to take that video down because it's not true." Tasha K said, "If you're not going to come on the show, then oh well." So Tasha K then goes on camera, and they had this too. They said, "Did you go on camera to your million subscribers or whatever it was at that time?" And they basically play for this 40-year-old jury or whatever it was. Tasha K, "I got your cease and desist. Teddy, didn't we get a cease and desist from Herbie B? I got your cease and desist. I wipe my ass with it. F your cease and desist." So, and from what I was told, the jurors started cringing like, "What?" So you got a legal piece of paper in your hand that says, "Stop talking about me. Stop talking about me." And I'll call the whole thing off. Take the videos down. Stop talking about me. See, but you have to remember something. By now, Tasha K's money is rolling in. Tasha K's money is rolling in from these Cardi B videos. Her BB, she's got a shirt. Her B, right? So Cardi legal team sent her another cease and desist. And Tasha K came online again. I don't give a F about your cease and desist. Teddy, do we care about a cease and desist? I wipe my ass with it. I got lawyers that'll eat you up. Now she talking to a millionaire. My lawyer is a pit bull. She'll eat this case. So she told Cardi B she wasn't taking down nothing. And this is why I say this is that clout. This is that clout. Because she now is at the point where she getting more and more subscribers, and then all the people that hate Cardi started coming over there. She getting more and more. So this is right around the time she started flipping to the Nicki side. Because if you remember, about 3, 4 years ago, she hated Nicki. But now, as people started coming, the people that don't like Cardi B started coming. Now that's when she slowly started flipping to the Nicki Minaj side because she wants to now use that fan base for more subscribers. So she basically said they played for the juror. Um, so then the lawyer said, when you say that you're wiping your you know what, your ASS with a cease and desist, you're pretty much saying you're wiping the law. You're wiping your butt with the law. because the cease and desist is a legal document. So you're pretty much saying you don't care about the law. And that's what, to me, was her worst moment of the day. Because you're looking at tax paying 40-year-old white people. They don't know who Tasha K is. They probably don't know who Cardi B is. Maybe their children know who Cardi B is, but they don't know who Tasha K is, and they don't know who Cardi B is really either. But they know the judge said you're just listening for evidence, truth, and the law. He said that's all we're listening for. Forget celebrity, forget fame, forget color, you're just listening for evidence, truth, and the law. So, um, and another thing is their computers and what have you, their IP addresses have all been taken down by the court. So people think that the court just says you can't go looking on the internet for anything about this case. If they think they're going to say yes and then go home and sneak on the internet, all of that stuff is watched. All that stuff is watched. And if it ever comes out that you did that, you are pretty much sending yourself to jail. You're pretty much sending yourself to jail. So that's why they always express to people, do not go on YouTube and research this case. Do not go on Google and research this case. Don't have someone research it for you. They're watching your IPs and your phones. They got all that stuff taken down. People don't realize it, but they do. They have your phone IP address. They're watching all that stuff, right? So they could subpoena, your computer, or they could subpoena your phone, and your phone's gonna have every single site and search that you've been on. So, so after that thing about the cease and desist, the lawyer then says, turns to the jury. Tasha Kibi had multiple opportunities to just simply stop talking about my client. And because of her malicious intent, she refused to stop talking about my client because she was getting financial gain from it, even though she knew and has admitted out of her mouth that she does not know these stories to be factual. She still kept talking about my client. And then she went and said she pretty much wipes her behind with the cease and desist. When all she had to do was stop talking about my client and take down the videos, and we would not be here today. And the judges are sitting there looking like, why didn't you take them down? We wouldn't be here. So Cardi's lawyers ate today. Tasha K and her lawyer was all on different fields, on different courts, and it just did not look good for them. Because to prove defamation, to get around the First Amendment, you have to prove that you intentionally posted or spoke on someone that you knew it wasn't factual. See, the First Amendment is, hey, I got this, I got it off the internet, freedom of speech, freedom of press, whatever the case may be. Somebody told me, I saw it on the internet, so I posted it. I reposted it. You know, it's freedom of press. But it was not that. When you find out something isn't true and you still post it, That person, if they got the time and the money, they can be petty and sue you. You see, what happened is Tasha K did not think that Cardi B would be bothered. You see, and that's where you run into the problem. That's where you run into the problem. Now, if Tasha K had a simply said, and this is how I get around stuff like this. You know how Tasha K was getting around all of this by simply stating, allegedly, Cardi B has herpes. We cannot confirm that she has herpes, but in my opinion, that bitch got herpes. That's all she had to say. But you see, when you say allegedly, and when you put in like like I see on YouTube now, they have these little disclosures. This is for entertainment purposes only. You see, bloggers and YouTubers that want you to believe that they're in the circle, they hate putting that. They hate putting this is for entertainment purposes only because then people are gonna say, "Oh, so you just lying." Entertainment. What do you think of when you hear the word entertainment? You think of not real. Wrestling. You see what I'm saying? A show. When you think of entertainment, that's what you think of. So people are like, oh, so this is for entertainment purposes only. This should not be taken as fact. All she had to do, no, it will work. It works every single right. Nothing serious. Exactly, Nikki. It works every single time if you say it. Allegedly, she has herpes. I can't confirm that. Please do not take this as fact. She would have never been able to do anything, in my opinion. For instance, and I talk about this all the time, everybody thinks, for the most part, everybody believes that O.J. Simpson murdered Nicole Brown, right? For the most part, everybody believes that. However, O.J. Simpson went to court and was found not guilty. So technically, he is not a murderer, right? If I have a show, which I do, I have a YouTube platform. If I came on my show and said, let me tell you about this murderer, O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson is a murderer. He murdered Nicole Brown. If O.J. Simpson's daughter or son is in the audience, they can record me, take me back to their father, and he could sue me if he was that petty. He can sue me. So just the people out there, you just can't go around anymore just spreading lies because you might find that Cardi B who just got the time and the money. She got the time, she got the money to make an example out of Tasha K. Now, what's at stake for Tasha K? This was only the first day. This was only the first day. Tasha K might have a haymaker. Who knows? Only the first day. But as of right now, let's just say this day today most definitely went to Cardi by a landslide. And I don't know what Tasha K can do because she basically is on tape saying, yeah, she can sue her for defamation. And that's exactly what she's getting sued for. She said that everything that she was saying, she thought if she just put it on Star Marie, oh, well, she told me, so Cardi should sue her. That's not the way it works, boo. You put it on your platform. You're the one with the million subscribers. You put it on your platform. All right? You put it on your platform. So it doesn't matter who told you. It went viral from your platform. So that's what defamation is. Again, this court case is about defamation, slander, invasion of privacy. When she had Cardi go and submit those medical records again, and this time she had to, when she submitted it the first time under the name Cardi B, because she didn't want all of her medical records put out there. But then Tasha K went and said, I want you to resubmit it under your regular name. The judge actually agreed with Tasha K and granted her, said, okay, Cardi B, you have to submit it under your real name. So Cardi had to go and be subject to letting the court or see her medical records. So maybe Cardi's got a lump under her breast. Maybe Cardi's got vitiligo. She doesn't want this. You don't want people knowing all of your medical history. So that's where the invasion of privacy got thrown into the lawsuit, because she made her go do that. She submitted the medical records. The judge basically said these don't help Tasha K, so we're going to move on. So obviously, the HPV and the herpes that she said she had, obviously, it did not come out in the medical records. All right. Anything else, we're not going to know if she got chlamydia. She can have chlamydia, she can have syphilis, she can have gonorrhea. It's not going to help, because that's not what Tasha K said. Tasha K said herpes and HPV. So if she doesn't have herpes or HPV, that's pretty much, they're going to use that as defamation and slander, right? So that's pretty much the first day there. Not a good day for Tasha K. Choke tried to ask her a question going out of the courtroom. She was like, no questions. Her lawyer said, we're not going to answer any questions until after the trial. So she didn't really want to answer any questions, um, because it's heading for defamation. Now, like I said to people before, Cardi has now, where in the beginning it was just 75,000. Now Cardi has said, you know what? This has now extended past the amount of time that I'm willing to spend. So now I'm going for my lawyer fees. Since you're making all this money off of me, it'll be like I'm paying for it anyway. So since you're making all this money off of me, you can afford to pay my lawyer fees. So Tasha K, when she was saying before about, oh, and they got her on tape saying that too, I don't care about this old little stinking 75,000. Who cares about 75K? So now it may be more than 75K. So to the people, when I was going over this and reporting with people, them saying, didn't Cardi say she drugged people and robbed them? That has nothing to do with this case. That's some other case, boo. You're going to have to take that up in another case. Whether she said it or not, if she did say it, I did hear her on camera saying something like that. That's irrelevant. It is all about Tasha K saying, right. That's not even missive. That they're all about Tasha K saying she's on cocaine and she had no proof of that. She has herpes, no proof of that. She committed adultery, no proof of that, and she's got HPV. So if Cardi B makes Tasha K present the proof and she can't, and she's going to say basically you didn't have the proof that all of these things took place, but you still reported it as fact. That's defamation of character. So for people who didn't know, remember Tasha K first was countersuing, and the things about the bottle came up. Tasha K said, "Well, my Tasha K's lawyer said, well, my client saw Cardi put a beer bottle in her vagina, so she just figured since she's doing things like that, she must have HPV." First thing is that's far from the truth, right? And the lawyer said that in not today, but in the pretrial. The lawyer said, "Let's just play devil's advocate. Let's just say that that was my client putting a beer bottle in her vagina. How does that prove she's got HPV?" And they ended up I believe they threw that video out. I don't think that video is admissive anymore because the judge actually showed the video of the dancer putting the bottle in the private area, and none of the people that watched the video could determine if that was Cardi B or not. So that's why they're probably not going to use the video, because the um the lawyer said Tasha Kibi saw in the comment section on Pornhub, she saw numerous people putting, "This is a clickbait. This is not Cardi B." She said, and Tasha even admitted on her show, "I'm not sure if that's her, but F it. F that B. I'm posting it anyway." So Tasha is just killing herself by just not saying allegedly. Mala Luna. See, there you go. There you go. It wasn't even her. So that video is thrown out because Tasha K said, "This is Cardi B." And she's putting a beer bottle up her private area. So she got herself in trouble with that. The bottom line is she's going to have to prove that she's on cocaine or she was doing cocaine, right? They got her on they got her on tape talking about culture, saying that Cardi B was doing cocaine and had herpes while culture was while she was pregnant with culture, and culture got issues, and man, it's a mess. It's a mess. I think that baby's slow because of the issues she had when she was pregnant. And that was just day one. That's just day one. And my point being is this, and this is the last thing I'm going to get on to Nick. Tasha K, from what I heard, has made an estimated everything that generated from those Cardi stories. She's definitely made over $200,000 off of Cardi alone. If if she gets sued for defamation because of those videos, and then those videos have to come down, guess who's coming knocking next? YouTube. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, Miss Kibi. Oh, okay. Well, we got word that you got sued for defamation of character, and you were posting these videos on our platform that we paid you for. And now it turns out that the videos were not true. And we've now paid you this total amount. Guess what? You got to give it back. Oh, trust me. Trust me. They come if Cardi B wins this case, yeah, born with a defect. She was talking about it, right? If Cardi B wins this case, Tasha K's YouTube channel will probably get shut down because YouTube's not going to want to be attached to her. So, like I said, only day one. Only day one. On to Miss Onika. So, let me see something here. All right. So, Nicki Minaj is not in court, right? She's not in court, but she still has a court date going on. Not a court date. She still have a case going on. Her case is against Jennifer. What's her name? Huff. Jennifer Huff. Okay. Now, for anybody that's living under a rock and they don't know what this is about, this is not about whether Kenneth Petty R word Jennifer. All right. I hate when I get into this case and people start saying, oh, Kenny already went to jail for that. It's not about that. This is not whether about Kenny R word Jennifer. This is no longer even about whether Kenny registered or not. We're already aware he did not register. That's how all this came about. This was a lawsuit strictly. She was suing him now for distress, not saying whether he did it or not. According to her, he did do it. She's suing for distress because, according to her, she wasn't looking for any trouble, and Nicki's fans dug her up, and Nicki brought up on social media and gaslit her fans into attacking her by saying she was a white woman and this, that, and the third, and then contacted her, tried to bribe her to recant her statement so that way Kenneth wouldn't have to register. And the one thing I've always said about that is number one, that is false. Right? She cannot recant her statement now and make him not have to register. All right. So he's already done time. He's already done time. So is there some sort of uh, thing in the record books where if she recants her statement now, it will disappear and it will come off of the records as was never he doesn't have to register because he never R word her? I don't know, man. The statute of limitations is probably passed on that. All right. So I don't think that for everybody who is anti Nikki and who's mad at me because I'm just stating the facts. And I know Jennifer. I know Jennifer. So if I was going to be biased, I'm going to be biased for the person that I know. I know Jennifer Huff. I don't know Nicki Minaj like that. I've been around her 4 times in my life. And that was before she became big Nicki Minaj. Before Pink Print. Not Pink Print. Pink Friday. I was in the studio with her 4 times before Pink Friday. And then I filmed her one time where they hired me when she was with Safari. And her management hired me to document her hosting a New Year's Eve party in Miami. I spoke to then. The last word she ever said to me was, "Yo, Long Island," because she remembered I was from Long Island. Yo, Long Island, it's about to get stupid. It's about to get crazy. Yo, Long Island, it's about to get crazy. So that was the New Year's Eve party 2010. So that's the last time I ever saw Nicki Minaj. That's 11, 12 years ago, right? So just because I've met someone and been in their present 4 times, um, that don't mean I know 'em. So Jennifer, I know Jennifer. However, and I told Jennifer this, Jen, it ain't looking good, player. It ain't looking good, man. It ain't looking good, right? And you know, she just said, "Oh, I'm gonna send the other. They're trying to paint me in bad light." Whoa, 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 whoa. I said, "Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see." And I just told her, "I'm not gonna slander you," because she knows I got a blog. She know I got the IE network. She was just like, she just, I think, just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna slam her. I'm not gonna slander you. I'm just gonna tell the truth. This don't look good, right? It don't look good. But I said, she ain't never done nothing to me. She's always been respectful to me. She's always been a good person. Like I said, people got mad when I said, "Oh, she's a good person." Oh, how's she a good person? She's trying to extort Nicki Minaj. I can't go on what she's doing to Nicki Minaj. I can only go on, like I said, I judge people my interaction with them. Right? I judge people my interaction with them. I'm cool with Mob Radio because we have a relationship or whatever outside of blogging where she doesn't like Cardi, I like Cardi, but I'm not going to be like, "Oh, I don't F with Mob Radio." I'm not going to do that. Me and her are cool. So, like I said, she's always treated me with respect. She always credits me when she gets a story from me, and I do the same with her. I big her up. So it don't got nothing to do with who's her fave, who I rock with, who I don't rock with. So I judge people based on how they treat me. With that being said, I said 2 weeks ago I did not like the chances of this case going anywhere because Jennifer cannot produce, she can't produce any proof that money was offered, and more than that, she can't she can't produce any proof that she was harassed other than Barb's. Now, listen, has she been harassed by the Barb's? 100%. I've seen it with my own eyes. However, as much as they love Nikki, The Barbs are not Nicki. All right? The Barbs are not Nicki. So at the end of the day, they can't really make Nicki pay for her fans harassing Jennifer. You can't really make Nicki pay for that. Now, would I personally love to hear Nicki do what Beyonce did a couple of years ago when all her fans was getting on that white woman? Remember when all her fans was dragging that white woman at the Golden State game, and Beyonce had her people immediately make a statement and say, "Leave that woman alone." Would I love for Nicki to do that? I would, just for the optics. Yes, and you know why I would love to see her do that? Because then at least, even though Nicki can't control the Barbs, right? She can always say, "Listen, I told them, and it's on record. I said, leave Jennifer alone." Now, if she goes on record and says that, and then they don't listen, Nicki's in the clear because she could say, "Hey, I told them, but I can't control grown people, or I can't control them like they do what they want." So she was saying she was getting harassed by her family, Kenneth Petty's family members, Kenneth Petty's friends, but she has no proof of it. That's the whole thing. She has no proof of it. Anybody can could go and say, "Oh yeah, Heaven Hollywood was threatening me," but if they don't have the threats recorded, if they don't have the text messages, if they don't have any record of me threatening them or stalking them, whatever, what the police gonna do with that? What police gonna do with that? So, and we're not even going to get into every, like I said, I'm making my statement based on, let's just say they are. I'm not going to get into everybody with a profile pic, and I don't care about none of that. None of that stuff is relevant. My point is, people who rock, whether they whatever they got in their profile pic, people that defend Nicki Minaj has harassed Jennifer. That's a fact. However, there's nothing really Nicki can do. Nicki should not have to pay for that. Would it look good if she said something? Sure. But she also said, "Stop mentioning my ops on my timeline." Has Nicki Minaj fans listened? No. So even though she says something, that don't mean they're going to listen. Because I heard her with my own mouth say, "Stop mentioning my ops on my timeline." And people continue, they still do it. So there's nothing really Nicki can do about them people. However, if it was her friends, Kenneth Petty's friends, Kenneth Petty's relatives, and you got some proof that this happened, then you can work with something. But first of all, like I said, Jennifer's number one problem out the rip was hiring a Negro named Tyrone to be a lawyer. I said in my video, if y'all haven't seen it, go check the video out. You never hire a Negro named Tyrone. What Negro do you name Tyrone that is successful at anything? First of all, I don't mean to be funny. I don't mean to be funny. I'm sure there's some somewhere. What successful Tyrone do you know? Every Tyrone that I know is a piece of garbage. I don't know not one good Tyrone. So you should have never even hired a Negro named Tyrone to defend your case. That's the first thing. Thank you, Jimmy Ace. I appreciate it. So you never should have even hired a Negro named Tyrone. Dudes named Tyrone, if they ain't playing basketball, aren't successful. Mini bar menage. Okay, so First of all, she went on the reel and had the world dragging Nicki. What do you expect us to do? First of all, I really don't expect you to do nothing because it ain't your damn business. I'm gonna be honest with you. What can you do? Are you gonna go beat Jennifer up? So y'all what feel as though you have to y'all are Nicki's bodyguards? I listen, I'm not even gonna get into all that. All that shit is weird to me. So I'm not even gonna get into it. Y'all do whatever you gotta do for y'all's for whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna you gonna say, what do you want us to do? I'm not even gonna answer that, Minaj. Hey, do what you do. That shit is just weird to me. Probably because I've never done it. And I'm the biggest Prince fan. I'm a bigger Prince fan than any of you ever will be for your fave. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, flew thousands of miles, bought every single record he ever put out, bought, not streamed, bought every single record that Prince has ever released. And I don't act like that. So I can't get with it. I can't get with it. I understand that's your fave. I can't get with it. That's just weird to me. The way fans act now is just weird to me. So I don't I don't agree with no fans. No fans. I don't care who their fan is. I don't care if they're a fan of Cardi. I don't care if they're a fan of Nicki. I don't care if they're a fan of Megan. I don't agree to any fans harassing people that they don't know. You let the celebrity deal with that person. You see how Nicki's dealing with that person in court right now? That's how you let it happen. You let the celebrity deal with that person. 'Cause at the end of the day, what are you really doing? You're not hurting Jennifer. You're not going to beat her up. You ain't pulling up. Most of y'all do that because you're on a computer and you want to be mouse pad mobsters and keyboard killers and broadband bloods. But none of y'all will pull up in that woman's face. Let's just be real. So, what I want you to do is just chill. Root for your fave. Buy her music when it comes out. Go to her concerts when she drop her concert. And that's it. That's supporting, not harassing the ops or dragging Cardi B or dragging Cardi B fans or putting out people's addresses and threatening people. That's not support. That's weird. Now, and to me, whoever does that, and I'm not saying you do it, Minaj, whoever does that needs to be checked out. Honestly, needs to be checked out. Because if you're that into a person who wouldn't know you if you kicked them in the stomach, right? If you're that into a person, you need to be seriously checked out. So I'm looking at this letter from Judd Bernstein. So what had happened recently was they were going back and forth, filing these different notions. Tyrone, the lawyer for Jennifer, is pretty much it's kind of like Cardi B and Tasha K's lawyers all over again. The lawyers for Nicki Minaj is like, this person can't be serious. And Jennifer, who has less money than Tasha K, has some Instagram lawyer, some fake Lisa Bloom. and they just have no shot. They, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. The moment I saw who her lawyer was, I was like, ugh. But you know, it has been, even though people said it didn't happen. Nicki Minaj has pretty much admitted that she spoke. She did speak to Jennifer. Now, shout out to my boy Amon Wiggins. I like Amon. I watch Amon. He's entertaining. I do not agree with his take on the Nicki situation. Just because Nicki contacted her, that does not automatically mean that she offered her money. I don't agree with Amon's take on that. He's saying, oh, if she called her, then she obviously wanted her to recant her statement. So I don't necessarily take that route. I don't. I don't necessarily believe that just because she called, that don't necessarily mean she was trying to bribe her. I wouldn't pull up on anybody, Cleveland, to be honest with you, because I have no reason to. I wouldn't pull up on anybody unless they pulled up on me. But I'm not gonna go pull up on somebody for a celebrity. That's crazy. I'll pull up on you if you harm my daughter or harm my family member. So that's something totally different. Other than that, I ain't pulling up on nobody for what. You can talk all you want, but I bet you won't pull up on me. So this this letter. Let me read the letter. Let me share the screen to see if y'all can see this. Hold on. I'm gonna see if y'all can see it. Hold on here. All right. Y'all should be able to see this now. Okay. This is a letter from this judge or whatever. Let's see if I can read it. So, dear Master Judge Cho, I write as counsel the defendant Onika Tanya Mirage, Nicki Minaj, the freedom. Um, Plaintiff Jennifer Huff failed to file any reply papers yesterday, the date by which they were obligated to do so under Your Honor's December 8th, 2021 order, nor did they request my consent for late filing. Plaintiff have thereby waived their right to submit reply papers, and I respectively ask Your Honor to deem any papers they file today or thereafter a nullity. Right? It then says this is was the letter from Nikki's lawyer. Plaintiff's frillative motion for a default judgment is predicated upon a claim that no leniency on due dates should be granted to defendant because if this case is about whether fame and fortune make one immune to the law, I agree that the defendant is not entitled to special treatment because of wealth and fame, although she has never made that claim. So basically saying Nicki Minaj has never claimed, oh, because I'm famous and rich, that I'm above the law. And that don't even sound like Nicki. I don't think she would say that anyway. By the same token, though, plaintiff also is not immune to the law. Basically, just because she has money and she's famous, she's not immune to the law. But you, just because you don't have the same amount of money and not famous, you still have to follow the rules as well. Okay, so that's basically what that they were saying there, right? Now, hold on. Let's see what else happened. Okay. Anyway, there was a letter put out from the judge, right? So the judge pretty much put out a letter. I'm trying to read it. Like she gives the most. I just go to this Crystal Nicole chick because she posts all the letters or whatever. All right, I don't know what she did with that letter. So anyway, the judge did respond back or whatever, whatever, and said pretty much they didn't respond because of some sanctions that was happening. Now, they were pretty much saying they was afraid. Tyrone are getting a lot of sanctions from these claims that they're making, and they've been hit with some sanctions. So, from what I'm hearing, they were afraid to respond. So, I think the judge is like giving them, here it is here. The reason for the non response is because Jennifer and Tyrone were served sanctions on the ninth. I love my little sources, my little people that give me this stuff behind the scenes. Um, Non-response is because Jennifer and Tyrone were served sanctions on the ninth for false claims. Nikki's lawyer is saying that's why they didn't respond out of being scared. Now he's giving them until the 30th to drop the entire lawsuit, and he's asking the judge to cancel the scheduled court date. So, pretty much what I've been saying for the past few months, that I believe this would be dropped off, and I believe it'd be dropped, right? I believe it'd be dropped. So I thought from hearing it, I thought it'd be dropped. Um, just don't have enough, in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Tasha K. Maybe they got an ace in the hole. Who knows? But this don't look like it's much of nothing. Do I believe Kenneth Petty, R word, Jennifer? Yeah, I believe it. But that's not the issue anymore. Whatever he did or didn't do, he's already done time for it. That time cannot be, we can't go backwards. He's done time for it already. All right. Should he have registered? Of course he should have registered. Maybe, I'm sure he's registered now. Do I believe that Nicki Minaj personally offered Jennifer money? No, I do not. Because I just think Nicki's too smart for that. Do I believe someone else may have offered her money? Yeah. I believe maybe somebody that call themselves doing Kenny a street favor, or one of his may have tried to threaten. Listen, maybe. But I also believe in a twist, and this is just my opinion. Don't have proof of it. This is why I protect myself and say, in my opinion. In my opinion, Nikki needs to cut off Black, because I think Black and Jennifer had a side deal. That's my opinion. I think they conspired together to try to get Nikki to get money from her, and they was going to split that money. That's my opinion on Black. I think Nicki needs to cut him off. My opinion. I don't have any proof of it, right? I don't have any proof of it. I'm just giving you my opinion. In my opinion, I get that. Right. I understand that. Like I said, I believe some of what Jennifer was saying. I believe some of what Nikki's side said. I do believe somebody offered her money. I just don't think it was Nicki Minaj. I just don't. I again, I'm not doing the R kit and all that stuff. I'm not getting into that because, like I said, he's already did. You can't return it anyway. If even if she came out today and said, "Haha, I lied about the whole thing," Kenny ain't getting them years back. He's already been to jail, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter why she didn't do an R kit. It doesn't matter whether she would. That time is past. When there's nothing we can do about that. If Kenny just registers, there won't be any issues. If it turns out that Jennifer was not telling the truth about being offered money, if it turns out that they can prove that, could Nikki then sue Jennifer? I mean, I guess she could. If I was Nicki Minaj, would I? No, I wouldn't waste my time because Nikki is already, this case has already destroyed her entire plan of last year. Actually, the end of 2020 is when she actually was supposed to release Nicki Minaj 5. But then with the pandemic, the court date, once this thing is finally over, I really don't think Nicki Minaj is going to be want to go back to court. The judge said, "I write." Master Judge Cho said, "I write as counsel to defendant Onika Tanya Mirage, Nicki Minaj, for freedom. In light of plaintiff Jennifer Huff, counsel to submit reply papers in support of a default judgment against defendant or even request an extension of time to do so. It is therefore waived her right to contest a number of depositive defenses which defendant asserted in her answering papers. Hence, we respectively submit that the court should issue a report recommending denial of the plaintiff's motion for a default judgment against defendant without the need for oral argument. A movement failure to file a reply brief does not waive any arguments with advanced yada 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 yada. I suspect the cause of the council's silence is a notice of motion for sanction under Rule 11, supported by a 15-page single space letter which I served upon them. Now, if you've noticed, Jennifer's went ghost on social media. She's went ghost on social media. You haven't really heard, and they haven't heard from Tyrone because they're probably afraid. They probably saw those things like, oh. So there you have it. If Jennifer was offered money back in the day, or if she was offered money in 2020, she probably should have took it because this, she's going to end up, she's getting nothing out of it, and she's going to probably end up looking pretty bad. Now, my suggestion, they're saying that they're giving him to the 30th to drop the suit, and I just believe they're going to drop it. Now, if they don't drop it, like I said, we'll have to see what happens. But I can't see, you know, I can't see them coming up with anything else, right? I can't see them coming up with anything else. So Nicki Minaj wants to start this era. It's in January. She wants to get going. She's tired of being tied up in court. She's tired of court dates. She's tired of this. She's tired of that. She wants to get going. And again, if they did, again, if they tried to bribe Jennifer, that's wrong. There's no way to slice it. If they tried to bribe Jennifer, that's wrong. If Jennifer is making this up, that's wrong. That's all it is to it. That's all it is to it. Yes, it was proven that she did talk to Nikki, but you don't have any proof of, you have proof that she spoke to you, but you don't have a text message, you don't have an email that says, "Hey, remember what we talked about? What's your bank information?" Nothing. So it's going to be kind of hard to prove it, right? It's going to be hard to prove it. And like I said, that was just my opinion. If I'm Nikki, I say, you know what, Black, you've caused too much problems in this whole thing. I'm not saying that you did something. I'm not saying that, but you was talking to this girl. You gave this girl my phone number. Whether did Nikki tell her to give it to her? Maybe. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. But Black, you've caused too much problems. And I believe he was trying to cut a deal with Jennifer to get money out of Nikki, and then he was going to get some of it. That's what I think. So I get it, Bradley, and I get it, and that might be true. And like I said, I sympathize with Jennifer if these things really did happen to her, because like I said, I know how people on the internet can be. But and I do sympathize with her that she had to move 3 times, 4 times, people looking for her, whatever. That has nothing to do with the internet, but those things right there, if people were threatening you back then, you have to have some sort of proof. There got to be some sort of, did you go to the police? Did you report them? Did you get restraining order? Did you report them as stalking? Did you report them as, I mean, if I'm saying somebody's stalking me or somebody is um threatening me, I'm gonna go to the police and make a report. Do you have any proof that you went to the police about these threats? you know, the whole thing about the marshal, like I said, I don't know about none of that. It's going to eventually come out whether she was telling the truth about the marshals or not. It's going to eventually come out. And that's the update on that. As far as, like I said, Cardi B and Tasha K will be back in court tomorrow, and Tyrone Tyrone Blackburn and Jennifer Huff have until the 30th to drop the case, and also Nikki's lawyers. I mean, excuse me, the judge states they're asking for the case to be moved, like this next court date, not to to cancel it. So we'll see by the 30th if they drop the suit. All right. Go ahead, Minnie. Before I get up out of here, can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Okay. What's the question? And once was supposed to contact her for someone harassing her. Yeah. I mean, but where are they? You see what I'm saying? Where are they though? I mean, trust me, I get it. Like it doesn't always when it's a celebrity, it's hard. Trust me. When celebrity is hard, but you gotta have something. You gotta have something. Well, again, many Bar Minaj. That's a question for Tyrone. That's a question for Tyrone. Um, the one thing I said to Jennifer in a conversation that I had with her, and I can remember, is I said, "Hey, man, just be prepared. That's the best advice I can give you. Just be prepared." I never judged her. I never told her I think you're lying. I never told her you shouldn't do this. I'm not going to tell her that because she should live in her truth. If she believes this is her truth, I'll never tell anybody not to pursue their truth. I just simply said to her, be prepared. And it doesn't look like she was prepared, at least so far. All right, y'all. That's the update. I'll probably come back tomorrow, give y'all another update if something happens. Don't forget to check the videos out. It's on the IE network. Follow the us on follow us on Instagram. I'm at Heaven Hollywood _ Clark, and my brother's at the director, the DA director. It's on Instagram. All right, y'all. All right, Jimmy Ace, my brother.